Hello everyone and welcome back to the Road to Rotation. We're here with OP02 Newgate. He is a 6,000 liter with 6 life, and end of your turn add 1 card from the top of your life to your hand. So this used to be a powerhouse. For those who are unaware, this used to be the top deck in the format. I do think that there's still some reason to hope for this deck, but it's definitely one where it has seen its time in the sun, and I think that it probably won't perform as well as we'd like it to. But this one is pretty simple. We have a ton of rush cards. Ace, Luffy, Ace, different Luffy, Zoros, Rogers. So a whole bunch of rush these Newgates to go to 8k lead for a couple turns if we can, and then a whole bunch of defensive events in Radical Beam, Bad Manners Kick Course, and Guard Point. In addition to that, we have some pretty good blockers here in this blocker chopper here, and yeah, so that's the deck. Without too much more fanfare, let's just hop into some games. Alright, first up we have Rayleigh here. This is going to be interesting. I think I'm going to take second from them because I want to take their curve a little bit from them. We are not a slash type leader. I think I am going to keep this because this Equake will be real good at removing something from their board. And we aren't exactly expecting a whole lot out of our lead at this point, or our board at this point. We could have a better set of board. Oh, this Luffy is going to be great for us. I'm going to go ahead and pass. Our opponent doesn't have to do a ton here. Them being a 5-life leader does make this a bit of an annoyance, but I think we can probably make this work. I think probably we are just going to let it rip on the Seaquake. On 4 Dawn, let's see here. The correct thing generally with this leader is to just take aggressively. Our opponent's not going to have a very good way of getting up to 6k swings all the time, so letting them kind of chip in early is probably fine because their board, they have to invest a ton in playing out this blocker here so that we have something going for us. Yep, that's fine with me. Play out the Sanji here. This one is a bit of an annoyance here. And they happen to be able to use this leader ability here to get there and get another 6. So they're actually getting pretty respectable here. I'd like to find a 1k to throw to this, but we'll just give a 2k here. So we can't take all of the hits. Here on our turn, I think it's correct to play out this Luffy and do some board clearing here while holding open an event. So let's just keep them lower on board and get in some swings here, keeping up either a Guard Point or a Radical Beam to go with our blocker here. Let's see how our opponent plays it. They are also just taking here. We would really like to see a Newgate here, because going to 8k means they essentially don't get to attack for the turn. But we'll see how this shakes out. They do find a second Luffy, which is going to definitely be tough for us to deal with at this point. They put the 1 there. They need to get a second on... I'm curious if they're going to go at my board or not. We have a ton of counter that we can use, so I think I'd probably do protect the Luffy if he swings at it. Well, yeah, we do need to defend here. We're going to give the 1. We'd really like to see an ace here. The rush ace would be great as a way of clearing the board and holding up Dawn. For the rest, I'm going 7. This is going to be an 8 at it. We get to use a guard point here. And then another 8, we're going to give them a... I think we give up this one. All right, here. We didn't find what we were looking for too much. We only have 2 events that we're using, and we want to hold on to this Seaquake. Let's see, we can get 777. Yeah, I think that's correct here. So let's go at the Luffy though, because the Sanji just gives them a card, but we can go after it afterwards as well. Let's see how they play it. Oh, that's a lot of, that feels like a lot of counter to give there. They do let it go, and then we are going to go at the Sanji just because we need it off the field. Reduce the number of attacks our opponent has. And we're going to pass here. Ah, 1 card too late. If we had been able to play the Newgate on that turn, that would have been... Oh, I guess we were only at 8, so we didn't have an opportunity to do that. We are definitely relying pretty heavily on this chopper at this point, so we do need to finish very soon here. Maybe this Newgate can give us another turn, because Newgate plus an event is a pretty decent spot to be in. So if we can get out with keeping 1 event and the blocker, then I think we're probably okay to survive another turn. So let's see how we can make it work. Bow is unfortunate because they effectively get this search for free here. Oh, to never doubt that is power. Okay, so we do have to use our blocker on this turn here because our opponent is presenting the ability to get past it. Let's see how they play it. That's a pretty big swing here. 9 at 6. I think we need these, unfortunately. So I am going to go ahead and give up this blocker now. See how our opponent plays it here. That's just a 7, which is a 2k out of this. Yeah, we are gonna counter that, and then I think we probably want to use one of our events here. See how they play it here. An 8 here. We're going to use the guard point. Alright, so this is a pretty simple turn here. We're going to play this. I'm going to start stacking on our guys. Clear out their board, I think, because I don't think that we... Well, I guess get rid of this one and then go at face. If we can. We do have quite a bit of counter still. Let's see how they do it. Armament hockey. They get 3 swings if they go all in. Let's go here. They do give it up, and then we'll go 7 at face here. I don't think we can afford to go with lead, so we just kind of push them into a spot where they have to try to go for it into the 8K. because this Newgate represents a way around any blockers they might have. They do have a lot of cards, so they may just have plenty of counter. This is definitely kind of showing the power creep that we've seen in the game, because it used to be that this would be near about lights out against any deck, but the decks nowadays are just much better equipped to deal with these things. So let's see how our opponent plays it. If they want to just go 16 on Sanji, I think we win that. I guess they get one extra swing with the boa. Where are they going with it? And I guess it's 18. So that's up to 5 now. They got to give it at least one more. They are 2, 3. Interesting choice on 3. We will give the ace. I forgot I was at 8k. Silly me. Now they're going to use the boa. Going another 8 here. 9. And we'll give the 2k. See how our opponent plays it. Put 2 on lead. Six more. 11. And that is an easy radical beam. Alright. Here, I think we want to play out this ace. I think we need to get as many cards off the field as possible. We're going to go for as many 7s as we can. At their face. It's going to be close. They do possess a whole lot of counter in their deck, with all of those events also being 2Ks. So we'll see how it works. They don't have the ability to use the -1 across the board. Let's go 7 again. Two plus 1, gotta give me one more. Sorry, +2 +2, 7 again. Let's see if they get a trigger here. And then 7 again, because it's more efficient here, and then we'll go with the 12 to finish. That. And then a 12. Oh no, ooh god, I may have thrown. We'll see if they get out of it by 1 card. Let's see if it... Alright, we do get there. Ooh, this is an interesting aggro matchup. We have Bello Betty. They've opted to go second. I think I am going to mulligan this one. I would like to find... yeah, this is great here. We're going to go Ezo. Let's pick up another... I'm going to grab the Seaquake, I think. Because we have a good curve, we are going to take the Seaquake as a answer to something like a Bello Betty that we can play out on 7. Or do we want to take a turn off here? Let's just go with the 6 and see how they play it here. They are only getting us to a 5. They get a Morley. Our opponent is going low on cards. Do I go with another? Let's go with the Zorro. Give him something to attack into that they do need to generally use some investment into. And it has no counter, so it's going to be a tough card to get rid of. We haven't hit a ton of counter, which can be a liability here. Ideally, we'd like to use this Newgate. It may not end up coming up. They're going Ivan, discarding here. Are they going to play out the... Because we do get to do some nice countering here. Yeah, we do get to do some nice countering here. A 5. Sure, we'll give one of these. I can't defend this, so I am going to... I can't get out of an 8. I should have let it go on the first swing, I think. But that is what it is. We're not going to trigger that. We're going to hold these up. Here we want to play out this Luffy. First, let's swing here. And then let's swing here. And then we get to swing here. If they hit a trigger, they hit a trigger. They get some card draw. Okay. Next turn is definitely going to be a more defensive turn. We need an opportunity to play out this Rad Beam. Because we're not going to get a ton of opportunity here. If they go 8-8 here, then I do get to get out of it. So let's see how they use the rest of their dawn. If they just go stacking, then... Another Karasu. Okay. 8-5. I'm actually going to... We're both at 5 here, so it doesn't make a big difference. Let's go ahead and give up the 2Ks here. I think this Luffy... now we can let him go. Because it's easier to defend here. Yeah, that's fine. I have no problems with that. They play a blocker. Here, we're going to play the ace. Let's swing. Oh, they have the tension hormone. What is the tension hormone? I remember seeing them grab that. It is plus 3,000. So against plus 3, I think we just go face. So let's go with the 6. They're gonna use the tension hormone to play out another guy. And then let's go a 7 at face. It's gonna be a close one here. Unfortunately, we have 3 bricks here. They're playing out just a Bello Betty. Interesting there. I guess their intention is that they are going to use this Betty as an attacker. Yeah, they're probably going to give it here, and then the Karasus maybe. No, interesting choice. 8 at lead. Let's go ahead and use the Radical Beam. 8 at 4. Yeah, we are just going to lose here. Unfortunate. the amount of free value is pretty intense. I don't know why you wouldn't just... Oh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to win it instead of just swinging with your 8s, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and do one more. Interesting one here. We have the Nico Robin. They've opted to go first. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep this. We're going to just put on the pressure, hold up for the end game here. Yeah, we're just going to pass. Expect an 8 here. We can just guard point out of it. And then we can go 6-6 or 5-7 probably is correct. Ooh, they're going even bigger. Interesting choice. Yeah, we're just gonna take that one. I'm okay with this. So let's go Zorro 5. And then a 7. We're gonna pass. If they don't set up any board or whatever, then we probably just get to enjoy a pretty nice coast into the end. Another Olio. Wow, they're going hard here. I will give the 2 2Ks, I think, this time. Uh, 2K. On 6 here, let's play out this. Let's do a 6. And a 7, holding up one of these rad beams. Yeah, because on our following turn, we're going to end up just having the Sanji to play, most likely, which we need to... Oh, wow, they are going down very early on cards with the giant. Not what I would recommend, but it is one way to play it. I'm curious what their idea is. Might be maybe some ketchup ramp. Oh, Hiyori, that's an interesting choice. I'm gonna add probably a blocker if I were guessing. Yeah, here come the blockers. A 6. I'm fine giving up this guard point. Okay, so let's go a 5. Let's see if they just take. They don't. And let's go a 7. They do block. We've got 3. Now let's just see. Okay. And then we'll just play out a Sanji and pass. Yamato, they get no KOs out of it, which is good for us. And I think with the Newgate, we can survive the Yamato without too much issue. Where are they going with the 5? Let's think here. On my following turn, I'm going to be at 10. So we're not going to have another turn to use these. So let's go ahead and use a rad beam. All right. So let's just start going with our 5s here. 6. 6. trigger. We're going to play Newgate. We're going to go an 8. So we're going to stay at 1 and have Rad Beam up. And we pass. I think here we're probably safe. With a Rad Beam, Bad Manners, course, pitching an ace. We have 1k after that, plus 1 life, which I think it should be enough for us to get there as an 8k leader. Gum Gum Giant, to be very clear, still gets a lot of stuff, but the ace plus Newgate here is a great way to push through. See how they play it. I expect they probably won't be swinging at wow. Here we're going to give that 6-3. We can. They're holding up double Gum Gum Giant. I think I'm actually going to use this Rad Beam here. Yeah, that's fine. All right. No blockers to worry about. In the face of Giant, I am going to just swing 5 here. And then let's swing a 6 here. Let's go ahead and go with a 10. Which will be, Giant plus 2k. Did find it. In which case this should be enough to get there. 16 should be enough. Yeah, there we go. Good game to our opponent. All right, now we're here in the deck wrap-up. Definitely good feel, the power creep. I never really got to use this Roger. It is, at least in theory, quite good in Newgate. The problem is getting your opponents in a spot where they have to rely on a blocker, and that's tough to do, especially because you are going down so fast. Your opponent doesn't need to survive as many turns. Because they can just stack on lead and go for it. There's definitely a world in which I needed to be playing just the Straw Hat build entirely, which foregoes this ace, goes up on this Luffy, goes on the 2k, all the Straw Hat 2ks. You would run the Nami leader, or the Nami searcher, and the chopper blocker, just as a 1 that you can just throw at the end of the game. And then you probably go up to the 4 and 4 on the Rad Beams and guard points, or maybe 4 of the Bad Manners. Just go up on these a little bit. You can cut the Seaquakes. You probably get to keep these. You probably only need 1. I didn't find a spot where it was particularly useful. So maybe that can get cut. And then you can even opt to not even have the Newgate and just be a full-on aggro deck. Maybe with Kid Killer as a card that's great at finishing. But yeah, this is Whitebeard, and I hope you guys are glad that we're in OP02 now. Next deck for next week will be Garp, the red-black Garp. Who's definitely one that I think a lot of people like and just have never really found the sauce for. So maybe we'll have an opportunity, especially with all the new cards, to find something that works. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.